Hey guys, this is Rob from Waxadis Music, and what I'm going to show you today is how to record a generic classic house sounding record with nothing but free plugins. So the plugins that we're going to use are 100% free, they don't cost a damn thing, and you can throw them straight into your DAW no matter which DAW you use. Okay, so we're going to go through those now, and then I'm going to show you a quick demo of a little track putting together with the right sound so that we can create a classic generic sort of, straight out of the box house track. Right, so first things, all we're going to do is we're going to get the 4 synths. One is the Drum Pro, and that looks like this. All of the links for this, by the way, are in the description of this video, so you can grab them straight away. Now, in here, obviously within Ableton, the full package, you've got the 909 and the 808 suite and all that. But in here, if you haven't got those on your DAW, for example, you can just click on here, and within here they've got loads of hip hop ones, but down here they've got 2 909s and 2 808s, so you get those classic kits in there. So we're going to select the Drum Vintage TR909 at the very bottom like that, and that's going to give us some classic generic house sound. So on, we're going to get those sounds out of that. So that's that. Next up, we're going to use a OXE VST. And that is, I've done a few tutorials of this before, and that is the gypsy organ sound, and we're going to use that, and that's this. Classic sound, everyone's used it from JD to Nightcrawlers, whatever, MK, whatever it is. So that's that one, and next up we're going to use the Rave Generator, which is the classic rave sample styled synth, and we're going to use the M1 piano out of that. And I must stress on this, only the M1 piano is for the Windows version. For some reason, the Mac version only produces an organ. So in terms of getting a piano for this, for a Mac, is going to prove probably difficult. However, I'm going to show you an alternative in a sec. So this is the Rave piano. So that's that. Okay. And the lead line is we're going to use the FB3300. We're going to use we want like a PWM sort of string. So we're going to use a sound in there called the resonator. And that's just like, and that's just for a lead line thing later on. Okay, that's that. Next up, we want some acid, and we're going to get an arpeggiator, put that in, and we're going to get the Tal Electro Mark II, and that looks like this. And within that is a sound called the 303 Saw. We're going to use the cut-off effects on that with some automation, and that's going to give us the standard acid sort of thing. And next up we want some strings. So what we want is a synth here called, I say a synth, a sample sort of ROM player thing that is called the I can't even pronounce it. It's Sforzando, whatever. Anyway, and this has got some really nice strings in it, which is, and all that I've done is I've just put some delay and concert all on it, and that's just a string, a viola, 2 octaves, right, okay, that's that. And then finally we're going to use the Monofury, which is a KORG, and this is a minor september, it's called minor September, but it's minor sep, sorry, but it's this classic sort of chord pad thing. So all that together, all those sounds together, are going to create a little tune. I'm going to show you how to do it now. So that's just a quick rough demo. I'm going to show you how to, arrange it a little bit. Obviously it all sounds a bit chaotic, but that's because we've not arranged it. I've just banged it all together, and we're going to go from there. We're going to play 2 chords, and we're going to put it together quite simply and quite straightforward. So first things first, we're going to select the drums, and we're going to open that up, and we are going to find the sounds on here, which are, you've got the kicks, the snares, 2 claps, hi-hats, a ride, and a tom, and a rim shot. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to record in a, let's do that, and then just draw in a kick drum. So I'm going to put metronome on, and let's go. Here we go. There you go, do that, and then we can put that on the line, double click, open it up, and then there we go, so that's that. And let's draw the kick in. There's 2 kicks on here. I'm going to use the one on the sharp, and there we go, I don't need that one anymore. Copy those over like so, and then we're going to do that, and here it goes. So we want to put some claps in there and some snares. So I'm going to use 2 claps and 2 snares. I'm going to use that snare there, and we'll put that in there. Let me just get this right. And then another one like that, like there. Okay, and then we are going to put in a clap in the same place. Let's try that. And then over there like that. And loop that. And there's your basic beat. Straightforward. So we'll copy over those 4 times like that. Duplicate them. Open them up. And we're going to... I'm just going to copy that again. But this one I'm going to delete the snare and the clap. Sorry, the kick. So... And what we need on there is probably a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of reverb, right? Just a little bit. So, and what we could do is we could actually duplicate this channel, and delete that, and on this channel just change the color of it, and we just have the kick on here, so that it doesn't have all that reverb on it, which we need for the hi-hats. So we're going to delete all of that in there, and now we've got a solo channel for the kick drum. And I'm going to orange that as well. And then we're going to pop that over there. So we've got this, like, nice little intro. And there you go, there's a little basic beat. Next up, we want to do is, then we've done that, now we're going to insert the OXE bassline. So the OXE VST, once you've installed it, looks like this. It's a great little FM synth. And in there are loads of presets. There's some classic stuff in there. But there's the gypsy organ bass line, which is here. And that is, the, as I say, I've already demoed it. It's really famous. The lower octaves was what we want. So, and we're going to use 2 chords. It's going to be D minor 7 and G minor 7. So it's going to go. And I'll play the bass line in now, and you'll see. Let me just do a quick demo. That's it, right? So what I do is I go. So I'm going to play that in now. Here it goes. I made a bum note on the very first riff, but I can straighten it out now. Double click. There you go. Like I went up to the G instead of the F. And I'm just going to solo that. It's gone down to 2 octaves, so it goes like this up. And that's all that is. And it goes to just the D, and then up to the F, and then down an octave to the G, and then up to the B flat. 1 note there. And that's it. So obviously I'm doing a short version of this. I'm doing more like a radio edit, so to speak, as opposed to a full arranged track. So what I will do is I'll leave that like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the piano chords next. And in here, look, we've got the rave generator piano. I put some delay on it. And you go into your stabs and into your synths down here. Synths there. Double click on that. And in there is your piano. Now I said that those Mac users can't use this for some reason. I don't know why. But as I say, what I've got for the Mac users, if they can't get the M1 piano sound, is go into the drop down menu on this video, and you can see there's a file there called M1 piano sounds, and in that are all of the individual keys for the C and the F sharp. So what you can do with them is you can download those and put them into a sampler within Ableton, and then you can assign them to the keys, and you'll get the piano sound, and you'll get the you'll get exactly the same thing. So I've done that, and you can have them as well. So you will still get the piano if you're a Mac user. Okay, so over to the rave generator. We've got this in. What we want to do is we want to get some simple pad stabs in. So like, sorry, wrong octave. Like that. So it's going to be dead easy, straightforward. I've got a delay on there. Let's have a look at this. I'm going to put it on a 4 delay. And I'm going to press record, and here goes. So it kicks in like this. It's 2 chords. Like that, and those chords are D minor 7 and G minor 7, sorry. And I'll show you those now. I'm just going to quantize those, and it goes like this. Look. So the first chord is F, is 2 octaves. I've got on 2 octaves with one hand, with my left hand. I've got 2 notes, look. D1, D2. And then on my right hand, in my 3rd octave, well, in my 2nd octave, should I say, I've got F, A, C, and then D3. Like that. And I've just stabbed it like that. And then I'll go up to the next chord, which is G on the left, and then it's F, G, A sharp, B flat, and then D. And that's all it is, those there. They're a little bit short, so I'm just going to extend those notes there. And just put a little bit of reverb on there just to give it some extra, you know, I've already done it, look, to about 3 o'clock. And a delay, I've put some delay on it, about 20%, 25%, whatever. And this is just to give you an idea of how a track builds up. And we'll put that in there, and then put them over like so, and put that over again. And in here, what we'll have is we'll bring the snare back in. So we'll copy that, pull that down to there. I think that was the snare. There you go. And then put the piano over again. But this time, what we're going to do, we'll leave that running like that. And then here we'll bring back those without the kick. Like that, and then we're going to have a little piano roll here, so it goes like this. And that's it, and all we've done with that riff is just played it in faster, and it's like, you know, a lot more, so it's just like, and that just gives it that momentum that we need to build it up now to a main part. And that's that bit done. Quantize those. Copy over. But what we'll do here is we're going to put in a lead line and some strings. So we're going to get a lead line going, and they're going to use this. So the lead line is the FB 3300, which is by Full Bucket. And the sound is called the Pad Resonator. I've not done anything to it. I've just thrown it in there. And here goes. I'm going to play a little riff like that so it comes in higher. So we're going to go up an octave and let's try this. That, and they're just simple notes high up the octave that are in the same key as the chords. So we've got start off on the D, put the F in, G, D, F, F, G, and then a here, that's that bit done. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make it a little build up with a little snare roll. Remember, I'm doing a radio edit here. I'm going to double click on that, and then the snare on the second bit here, this last two sections here, I'm going to find the snare, which is, let me just get this right. I'm going to shorten that, and it's going to go like this. Let's just get it right, open up the screen, it's going to go like this, look. Half and half like that. So it's going to go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last 4 we're going to break down. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Put that in like that. Like that. And this is a little snare roll like this. And then it's going to kick back in. Put that there. Just change the colour of that so we know it's different. Put in the kicks. And we could also put in some kicks there as well, I suppose. Put the piano riff over. And the lead. And now, imagine it's like this. So it goes like this. So you've got that little going, you've got the main body of it going, and now what you want to do is we want to put in some more of those little snare rolls there. So we'll go here, change it 1, 2 and 3 there, so it goes. Just pull it down, let's make it a bit sharper, this one. So we'll go like this, look. 2, 3, 4, get rid of that, get rid of that, shorten that one, and then grab those, put them like that, and it goes like that. And then again, repeat that process. And then again, and what we want to do is we want to make a nice little, at the end here, like miss one out like that. So it goes like this. Ah, too slow, too slow. Try again. That's it, get rid of that last one. So it leaves 2 gaps like that. So it goes like that, and then it just gives it a little bit of a twist there. And what we're going to do there is we're going to drop to just the kick, and then we're going to bring in the acid, and put the acid in there like that. And basically the acid, all I've done with the acid is I've opened it up, and it's the Tal Electro 2, and in that, in the sound called the synth, it's just SY synth 303 saw. And I've just mapped the filters here by pressing configure and then moving the 2 dials there. You know, just use filter and cutoff and resonance on there. You can use anything you want by configuring it. And I've done this by hand because I've got I'm not with my controller that's got the dials on today. It's just the old one. So all I've done is opened it up, and it's a little tiny riff with 2 flat keys of D in 2 octaves like this. And then I've put in a Bach 16 arpeggiator from there, and the rate is 116. It's up and down on the style, and the gate is 50%, and that's all I've done to that. And then I took a compressor on for a bit of loudness and a delay on the 4 sync, put it on number 4, and at 30% feedback and dry wet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull down the Tal Electro, we're going to select the cutoff, and we're going to make it as low as we can, which is there, and it's going to go like this. Let's just play that. And then copy that over, and then I'm going to open that up. I'm going to change that, so let's consolidate that and delete the pattern. Oh God, sorry. Delete the pattern inside, which is clear envelope, sorry. And then we're going to make a brand new one. Press a dot there, pull a dot right down there, bring it up nice and steady. Resonance, same for that. Right click, clear envelope, and then we're going to start a fresh resonance there. It's going to go up a bit, about there. It might be quite high pitched actually, but still. And then to make it have a little bit more of an effect, we're going to put in a minor chord, and that goes from here, which is the Monofury. You get a copy of that. Choose the sound minus September out there, minus Sep, whatever it's called, and then turn the attack up to about 2 o'clock, and then the cutoff, keep it at about 10, 11 o'clock. So it goes like this. You could put some portamento on. I think it's got, if it's got portamento, I can't see it there. Look, you could do it so it bends over, so it goes. So it bends more, you know, it has more of a swoop rather than a straight stabbing attack thing. So what we're going to do is I've just done 2 flat notes. 1, 2. If you open it up, look, it's just D to G. But stick a bit of portamento on and it gives it that little bit of envelope and that little bit of groove. But we're going to have the cutoff low, and I'm going to configure it actually. So click the arrow, press configure, move that, and now we've got that in there. We can automate that now. Open that up, cutoff, right, click, click, pull that down, and then turn it up like that. So it goes like this. We didn't put the bass line back in, did we? Right, bass line back in. It's obviously a little bit rushed and a little bit fast, obviously, because of time and stuff, but you get the idea. Maybe we could move that over too. So it starts like that. Put the lead over. That could be filtered in. That could be filtered in more with an auto filter. It would sound a lot more effective. So let's put an auto filter on the acid. Open that up. Auto filter, device on frequency. Bring that down. And this will really. That's better. Like that, look. A bit lower. Take the lead out there. Bring that up gently. And then we could introduce the string. And that's called the Savando, which is a completely free synth. And in there's a sound called the violas, and there's all these different orchestral sounds in here which you can choose from, which is really good, and it's completely free, so it's worth getting. And I've got the sound in there, C4 viola SPIC, SPIC, whatever that means. And it's a little riff, and all it is 3 octaves of the D. And it goes. So it's hard to play with 3, but. And I've done, that's all I've done. So I'm going to show you on the screen now what I've done to that. I'm going to oops, have a look at that. There you go. Look. There you go. Just 3 octaves. I'm going to put this in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the acid over, but I am going to take 2 more, and then I'm going to combine those for like that. Extract, consolidate. And I'm going to clear the envelope on there, like that. Clear that, and now I'm going to pull that down, like so. And see what happens. And then I'm going to put a kick in, and I'm going to put the violas over, like that. And then what we could have is like a little snare roll here, but we need something to carry it over. So let's bring back the organ bass. Let's try that. So that's like that. And then a snare. carry the minor chord on. I think we should keep that going, and then we'll start to filter the minor chord out anyway. So we'll grab those four, consolidate them, and then bring that down like so. So it starts to fade out there. And then we'll have a little snare roll in there. Here it goes. Don't worry about that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to double click on that, and I'm going to kill that off. Let me just open that actually and just quantize that, see what happens. And then quantize that side. And we could put some claps in there as well, so we could open that up and go like, put some claps in. It's worth a try, I suppose. We could drop it out at the end here, drop out the kick on that bit, and then bring it all back in with the main piano riff. I'm not sure about the lead line. We could bring the violas back in, like that. Look. Probably put the acid back in, I would maybe. Let's put the acid in full swing maybe. It's a little bit rushed, but it does the trick. So we've got a little track here that goes hi-hats and a clap, and then a kick, and we've got the organ bass and some piano, rave piano M1. And it's just that classic generic sound that, you know, works time and time again if you do it in the right way. Has the piano bit, and then it breaks down into acid. Obviously, when you're doing this, make it an extended version, obviously, where it's properly arranged. I'm just giving you the guidance of how to select the right sounds to make this kind of classic sound. And then we've got a breakdown with acid, filters, and cut off, and all that. And then we've got the minor chord, which just gives it that brilliance. And then we've got some strings coming in, you know, so we've got that kind of classic house string sound. Obviously it can have a little bit or loads more added to it to take that transition into a more fuller, you know, beefier production, obviously. But on the surface, it's just a basic demo showing you the correct sounds on how to put this track together. So, quick overview. We've got a Drum Pro synth there, which is the free drum machine. And so, let's just do a quick overview of everything that we've got then. We've got the Drum Pro sound with the 909s. We've got the organ bass with the gypsy organ. We've got the M1 piano. We've got the lead line. We've got the acid, the string, and the minor chord. And every one of those synths are completely free. You don't have to pay for them, and you can put together all sorts of combinations to make that classic house sound. Even if it's just for a bit of fun, or you want to adapt it to some sort of, you know, full release, then go for it. You know, but as I say, this is just a quick rough guidance, just for a bit of fun, and just to show you how quick and easy it is to put together those sounds. I mean, those sounds could come in early. Those strings sounds good on the piano. This is the little track that we've done. I've added a little bit on the end here, just a quick brief bit, just to close the track off. And this is what we've come up. I've just shortened that as well. This is what we came up with. it. That's just a rough little tiny little demo of what we've done, just showing you the outlines of how to make a generic classic house track using the original sounds, the traditional sounds of house music, and the building blocks that it was created on. So all the synths are available in the drop down of this video, and you can get the samples pack too for the KORG M1 if you haven't got the Rave generator on the Mac. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As I say, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've taken something from it. Thank you and goodbye.